guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Anonymous Bites Back Asia, episode 8. Um, we're going to talk about the coronavirus, Wuhan outbreak. We got a guest in who is actually in quarantine, who can give us some more information about the actual situation in China right now. I mean, we get a lot of from our media and. Well, there's no saying what's true and what's not, so it is the best idea to have someone from there who actually knows what he's talking about. So I want to thank you all for listening and help us share these episodes. Like that's what we depend on, and let's spread the word together. Hi.
Okay.
So welcome
Yes.
everyone.
Welcome everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome everyone. So we have R here, who is now in Xi'an, which is um, a major city very close to the province of Hubei where Wuhan is in. So just the neighboring province of Shanxi. So let's start with that because okay, so Shanxi is a province that has quite a lot of people living there. It is actually the 16th um, most populated province, and then Xi'an is just a moment. Oh yeah, they have. Wait, this is. Oh gosh, one one. Oh yes, just a moment. 12 million. Yeah, they have 12 million people there living, according to the census in 2017. And then this is also the city where R is living in right now. So, R, can you just introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm working here in Xi'an, working as an English teacher. I went back here 10th of February because I spent my New Year in another province. So I had to be in quarantine for 14 days according to the policy. Now I'm in quarantine for 7 days and I'm expecting 7 days more.
Okay, so who would the quarantine be applied to, like other than the people who just returned to their own province? Do we have any other people who they would quarantine?
Yeah, sure. In my community, there are about 35 people. Yeah, about 35.
Okay, so for your community, do you mean like all of them are foreigners, or also there are Chinese citizens?
All of them are Chinese citizens. I'm only one foreigner.
I see. So, uh, are they quarantined for the same reason because they have just returned from the other provinces?
Yes, it's same policy, same for everyone.
Okay, and all of them are under quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, right, 14 days.
Okay, so can you just tell us a little bit about your condition in quarantine? So, what do
So,
they do to keep you inside your house?
So first 3 days I was checked out. I had to checked out maybe 3 times per day. Some different people came to my apartment to check my temperature, check my body, and so on. But now there is only one person who is coming to my door, just making some writings like, yeah, I was here. Yeah, my temperature is good. Now they're not paying attention so much on me.
So only the first 3 days they check on you, like for your temperature, or are they still checking your temperature every day until now?
Yeah, they are checking, of course. I have to say to them my body temperature every morning and every afternoon in special group in WeChat. And also there is one person who is coming to my door two times per day, and she's asking about my temperature, my health, and so on. And then she's just making some writings in her notebook or something, I don't know. And then she's just leaving. Usually it takes about 2 minutes. But I cannot go outside. If I want to buy some food, I have to buy it online from supermarkets.
Uh, you mean you cannot go outside at all?
Yeah, I cannot go outside at all. They close my door, but not with some metal things. They just put some papers, some letters, some notifications that this person cannot go outside.
What do you mean, like they put some paper and notification? What is that?
This is some like banner on my door, and here is the Chinese words that means "Do not go out." No one. So it means I can't go out and nobody can come in.
So they put a board there, but do they
Yeah,
lock the door, or can you actually go out if you just don't want to follow the board?
actually, I can go out. Actually, I can, but I don't need to do that. And I think if I will go out, my neighbors they will see. If they will see that, they will report, and it will have some problems. So I just don't go out.
I see. So, okay, so do you know whether the people in your province started working again? Because I know in some other provinces and cities, they actually started to let people go to work again. And do you know whether that happens in your place?
Actually, nobody knows. But some people are working. I mean, some community staff, like people who is coming to my door, or
Uh-huh.
cleaners, some bus drivers. Maybe they're working, but most of people they're just sitting at home and not going outside.
Okay. So what about like the food supply? How, because you're not going outside, you're not allowed to go outside. Um, how do you get your food to your place?
First day when I came back, they allowed me to go to the small supermarket, which is inside of my community. So I bought 7 days food like that. Now I'm expecting for food delivery for 3 hours. So I bought online from supermarket, and now I'm just waiting for delivery.
And you're saying 3 hours? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, 3 hours. They promised me that it will be delivered for 3 hours, but nothing happens. And I asked them again, but no one answered phone. And they said that we can prolong it up to 24 hours. So I think I will get it tomorrow.
mm. So like who are you buying from? Are you directly calling the supermarket, or is there someone in between? Do you call an official and then they order it for you?
They don't answer phone, so I just read their policy.
Mm? What? Can you just say it again?
I just read their policy. They say that if you're not getting your food, just please be patient and wait for 24 hours.
I mean, like, who do you order from? Do you order directly from the supermarket?
Yeah, directly from supermarket, which is 50 meters away.
Ah, I see. Okay. Guys, you can always just like hop in and drop a question.
I just think that I choose bad.
You choose.
Oh, sorry, sorry to interrupt you. I think I choose the really bad supermarket because this is really big, really huge, and I think they have so many customers. That's why they are late.
So for the other people in your community, they should be doing the same. Yeah, they should be ordering from supermarket as well, right?
Yeah, they are ordering from small supermarkets which are inside the community. Yeah, we have three supermarkets inside the community, but this is just vegetables, nothing more. Just
Not
grocery.
okay. And do you have any kind of restriction to the food that you buy? Like, do you have like an amount that you can only order that amount and not more than that?
Um, I don't think so. No, you can buy all food. Like Thursday I bought for 7 day boost. 7 days food, so it was maybe about 10 or 15 kilograms.
Oh, that's a lot of food.
Yeah, it was really heavy. No, we don't have restrictions. You can come and buy whatever you want.
So, how do you feel like under quarantine at your home? Do you
It's
feel
like,
safe there, or do you just want to go out as well?
of course, I want to go out, but if I go out, what to do? Everything is closed. Only supermarkets are working, like hairdressers, they don't work. Some cinemas, they don't work. Nobody works, so what's the reason to go out?
So no one is working still?
Still not working. They said that maybe approximately, maybe they will open first of March, but I don't think so.
Okay, so generally a lot of stores are not opening. What about the
Yeah,
government
sure.
service? Like government service, are they opened?
Government, I think they are close to.
Uh,
I didn't see government building. So when I came back, uh, 10th of February, I just went out train station and then I took a taxi and went back home. I didn't see.
hmm. So, what about the train stations? Are they open generally?
Shanxi province, this government of Shanxi province, they said that if you're coming back, you have to scan QR code and put your all information about you, where have you been during the Spring Festival and so on, or what train did you take, or what plane did you take, how many how many people were in train and so on. And then if you scan QR code, they allowed you go in go inside the city. If you're not scanning, so please scan.
Like, how do they scan you? And do they like hold you in for some period of time for observation before letting you in the city, or like what do they generally do to check you up before letting you in the city?
No, they didn't check. They just checked did I scan your QR code or not, and then they checked online my information. Then they said, okay, you can go in. I think they are controlling people who is coming back from Wuhan province, from Hubei province.
Ah, I see. Uh, what about that QR code that you talk about that they scan? What is that like? What is
This
encoded in there?
this is this is government's QR code. exactly of Shanxi province. For example, I was I was spending my Spring Festival in the North Province. In Mongolia, they don't have it.
What do they use it for, that system? Like, I have never heard about this system where you have a QR code and then I just have never heard about it. What is it actually?
So if you're traveling back home, you have to go out the train station. You have to scan QR code, put all your information. Where have you been? How many people were? Blah blah blah, and then you get the code back, special code, and then they scan you, and then they can see online your information, and then when you come back to your community, to your apartment, you have to show to community staff your QR code, and then they scan you, and then they say, okay, now you're in quarantine for 14 days. This is our policy. This policy, they evolved this policy from 7th February. So before 7th of February, if you come back, it's okay. It was free.
So this system, was it used before like this virus, or is it specialized for this I mean, for this period of time? Is it there already before the outbreak?
No, they didn't, of course. It it happens after 7th of February. Yeah, I've seen the government's letter that they said, okay, if you want to come back to Xi'an or to another city in Shanxi province, please do not. Please return your ticket. Please wait. Or if you have some emergency, if you really need to come back home, you have to put your information and you have to be in quarantine for 14 days in your home.
So the QR code started only when you put information about where you've been in there,
Yeah,
or has it been going on, the QR code thing that encodes your personal information about your traveling? Was it always there?
yeah. Everyone can see where have I been, what did I do, which train did I take.
I mean, like this system of the use of the QR code, is it only there for the virus outbreak?
Yeah, only for
Before.
the outbreak. Yeah.
Oh, I see. And it only puts in like the travel information of yours.
Yes.
Ah, I see. Okay, let me see. Is there anything you would want to like tell us about like the condition inside quarantine that you feel like we might not know about? Because like including that QR code, we know nothing about those systems that you guys are using. We just saw something on the news, and that's kind of general, like an outside picture. So is there anything that you think we don't
You
know?
know, they applied this system only from 7th of February. I don't know why they didn't apply it from, I don't know, 1st of February or before. I don't know why. Because the peak of the virus was the 2nd or 3rd of February. So I wanted to come back 2nd of February, but everyone told me please do not because this is the peak of the virus. You can just stay a little bit and then you can go.
I think there was some connection problem there, and we probably can't hear you very clearly. Do you mind just saying that again? I hear something about 7th of February.
Yeah, I wanted to come back of 2nd of February, but everyone told me please do not, and I just wait for a little bit. I said okay, and then I came back the 10th of February, and then they applied the system. I don't know why they didn't apply the system before. It's so strange because the 2nd of February was the peak of the virus, peak of the outbreak.
Huh.
If your region, if your province is near to Hubei, I think the government is more strict. But For example, I was in Inner Mongolia, as I said. I spent my festival there, spring festival there. It was okay. Nobody cares about. Just they checked your temperature and nothing.
I was just wondering how did they treat you? Do they treat you in an like are they nice to you? Because we you were cutting off. I was just wondering, are they treating you nice? Hey, I think he just dropped out, Smiler.
Oh.
I'm not sure why,
Uh,
but
He's back. He should join.
yeah, let's. Hey.
Hi, sorry, connection is bad.
Yeah, now it's better. I think on both ends.
I heard about treatment.
yeah, I was wondering, are they treating you in a nice way? Because we read a lot of stuff about Chinese government being aggressive to citizens and treating them bad, like because of the whole quarantine stuff. But how did they actually treat you? Were they like professional and?
According to what's happening now, I don't think that it's professional. The first 3 days were really, really, really good. They really cared about me, but I think it's because of the virus can come out in 3 days, so that's why they were looking after me so closely. But now they're just checking my temperature, doing some brightness and nothing more. But they were not aggressive. They were just okay. You must fill this form. You must decline where decline your traveling and so on. No, they were not aggressive. They were nice.
Okay, well that's good to hear then. And I was also thinking because yeah, you said not many people are actually back to work and all these things now. I know in other regions like people are back working in factories and all these things. Like I order a lot of stuff in China, and I noticed that deliveries already started again. They are actually processing orders, and so it must be that then region specific. It's like
Yeah, you're right. It's region specific because in our province nobody came back to work.
So, what about the other provinces? Do you know people who are staying in those provinces? And do you guys compare
Yeah,
like the situation, what you see outside your windows?
I've seen some movies, some videos in the internet that there are some aggressive people didn't want to go to hospital and police officers took them. It was so funny. But I can't see this in my real life out of the window now. It's pretty quiet. Nobody comes out.
Do you live near a hospital?
No, no, I'm not.
I see. So it's more or less like the city is very quiet from what you can see.
You know, older people, I don't know, they are old-minded. They don't believe to that virus. Some people, I think, it's my opinion, and they are coming out, but all of them wearing the mask. They're coming out. They're making some morning exercises, just walking around, but they spend not so much time outside, so they're coming back home really quickly.
I see. Another thing I would wonder is that because we have saw videos about the situation in Shanghai, so they actually spray disinfectants on the streets. So does that also happen in your place, or like are the officials doing anything on the streets to like cleanse it?
Oh yeah, I paid attention on it. No, nobody do that. I don't know why.
So no one's cleaning the street or doing anything there. So it's entirely empty
There
almost.
is some stuff there, usually cleaning the street, but they don't spreading anything.
it's probably again they're focusing on like specific regions again to do this, like where there is like most of the outbreak.
Yeah, it's not uh, that surprising because the condition in Xi'an and the province of Shanxi is actually pretty good given that it's just neighboring to Hubei. Like another two provinces neighboring to Hubei, which are Henan and Hunan, are doing not so well. Like they have a lot of people infected and also they have death cases. But in the province of Shanxi, they actually um, until now don't have any death cases. And today, and I think also R told us a little bit earlier, it is the third day that they don't have new diagnosed cases. So like this is the better region where the situation is more contained and it's actually getting better. So they probably don't have to do so much to contain the virus there. Is it right?
Yeah, I think so. Last 3 days we don't have new cases, so I think it's because of the strict policy. I have seen that in my community, if you want to go out for buying supermarkets, if you are not in quarantine, yeah, there are some people who are not in quarantine. They can go out one one time per 3 days, yeah, like that, and they have special ticket to go out. And then if they come back, they must show show to the community staff this ticket, and they can come back. Yeah, one time per 3 days.
Then that is actually rather strict because we have seen online from some like state media of China and some province, I forgot which one, but the rule was that in every family, only one person among them can go
Yeah, yeah,
outside.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
One person can go out.
yeah, but that was like every 2 days, and you guys have it every 3 days. That is even more
Yeah,
strict than the other provinces.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, maybe that is one of the reasons why. Hmm. Yeah, and I actually also wonder because uh, it is actually pretty surprising that you get to know also the situation of other provinces because I don't know, I thought the information would not be like going around so much inside China because they are trying to hold back like information from inside China to outside. So I just wonder, like inside China, within maybe like your friends or the people that you communicate with, or just you could be like you have reached to, what kind of information do you get about like each day?
Um, every day I check some news from abroad, and I check news inside. In WeChat, we have they added especially for outbreak. They added small app inside WeChat, and you can check online how many people infected, how many people died, and every day it's updated, and
Mm-hmm.
information is pretty same.
You mean like the information you get from uh, WeChat and the information you get from like the media outside China, they are the same?
Yeah, yeah, they are pretty same.
I see. And I also wonder, like those videos that we talked about, like people spraying disinfectants in Shanghai. Did you see those also inside your WeChat?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
And also like
but it's not in our province.
yeah, I just wonder whether you also see those videos because they are circulated around.
Usually we have more and more videos from Wuhan,
Oh, oh, interesting. Like including what? Can you give us some examples? What do you see about Wuhan?
like people, they their doors are closed with some metal bricks, and
Mm-hmm.
the people who is helping them with food making just helping them to send their food by robots, by drones, by just cars. Maybe yeah. Really, I have seen the video where it was the toy car, and they put some vegetables on the toy car and deliver food to the Wuhan people.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, what kind of toy cars are you talking about? Like, what size are they?
It was not so big, but it's pretty big, and it's really for kids.
Is it like the size of a bicycle, or is it
No,
uh
less than bicycle.
then maybe the size of what do we have as reference? Maybe the size of a desktop computer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of.
I see. And how are they used to like distribute food?
I don't know. Someone is just controlling on the phone this toy car. I have seen this video, but it's in Wuhan. It's only in this province.
And what about drones? Do you see drones on the street in Xi'an?
No, actually, in Xi'an, I didn't see. I don't know why. I think they don't need it because in Xi'an there are only 230 suspected people. Yeah.
There are 240 diagnosed case. So like confirmed case, there are 240.
So I
That's
think, yeah, if we compare these people, if we compare this amount with another provinces, I think it's really few people. So I think
yeah,
that's why they don't use drones for this.
yeah. I think, and also like what's more important is not only about how many people are diagnosed, but how many people are not accessible to like resources. Like how many people are quarantined and put into isolation for just observation. That depends on that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And so we also see videos about like having drones on the streets asking people, like reminding them to put on masks and like encourage them to go home. Do you see that
Oh
in Xi'an?
yeah. That popular video from Inner Mongolia. I have seen that video, and yeah, I have seen drones in Inner Mongolia.
Oh,
It's
really?
surprising. Yeah. I have seen because I spent some days in village, so that's why I have seen these drones. Yeah, but in Xi'an, no, I didn't see really.
Can you tell us a little bit about the drones that you see in Mongolia?
Didn't see really. Oh,
Can
sorry, it's
you tell us a
interrupting.
little bit about the
Yeah,
drones that you see
the
in Mongolia?
police officer just controlling the drone, and they're talking, please wear the mask, do not go out, and so on. Oh, sorry, it's
Can you tell us a
interrupting.
little bit
Usually
about the
they
drones
used
that
it
you see in
in
Mongolia?
village because in village people are, I don't know, they don't trust village people.
Hmm, I see. And like how does it work? Do you see them very often or not so often? Like
No,
seldom seen?
I've seen drones two times, but I didn't see closely. But I heard that they're speaking like, do not go out, wear the mask. We will fight together against the virus, blah blah blah. Like they're
And
just flying and talking some words.
and do you see them in the same place or do they go around?
Oh, in the same place, yeah, in the same place. I think they're checking every day the people who coming out without mask, and they're saying, "Hey, you'll get the punishment if you will not wear the mask. Please wear some mask." Blah blah blah, like this.
Mm-hmm. And do you see like officials standing there like warning people? Because in some other videos, like in the cities, not in the villages, uh, we saw some like officials standing across the street with a speaker with an amplifier, like yelling to people like wear your mask and then go home and go home.
Yeah. I have seen these people in the entrance of the city. And on the street, yeah, I have seen these people on the street. Yeah, they are yelling, yeah, please wear the mask. Who has the temperature? You can go to the hospital immediately. The mask go to the hospital immediately. Like this.
And are they police or just some other medics or some designated officials just for this condition?
They are police officers.
Hmm. Then, then you should have a lot of police officers around. And are the people afraid of that, or do they panic when they see them, or do they feel frightened?
I think nobody cares. Now I think nobody cares. It's
Well,
like
they,
it's like usual. They used to hear that.
oh, okay. So, like before that, are you used to have police in the street?
Mm, it depends on celebration. For example, for Chinese New Year celebration, there are many police on the street. They're talking not about the virus, of course. They are talking about please, one by one, please move around, like just controlling the people.
So, wait, does it happen like every Chinese New Year to control the flow of people, or only this year in Chinese New Year because there's a virus?
Every Chinese New Year, they're controlling. The situation is same, but they're just picking different words. Like last year, last Chinese New Year, they were talking, please move around, please go one by one. Like this Chinese New Year, they're just talking, wear the mask.
So we have someone in the chat on YouTube asking a question. I'm not sure if any of us have the answer to it, but Rochelle, she is asking, why are Americans being told not to wear a mask unless they are sick?
What? I hear that firstly. I don't understand what.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. But she's asking it. Why? Why are they told not to wear a mask unless they are sick? Maybe it's better to ask. Is this actually a good idea?
Maybe they don't believe that masks really help them to protect themselves. I don't know.
Maybe. And you know what? That just brings me to another question that just popped up in my head. So because there are a lot of people, you guys all need masks, right? Because like
Yeah,
the office,
everyone must wear mask. Yeah,
yeah, everyone must wear masks. So where do you get those masks from? Do officials give it to you, or do you have to buy them?
I'm lucky. I bought it before outbreak, so I have three masks, but I'm not used to wear a mask, so I just have it. But now, if you want to get the mask, you cannot buy it. If you go to the pharmacy and say, I need a mask, they'll say to you, no, we don't have, sorry. You, Honestly, I don't know how to get the mask right now, but I have three masks. It's okay for me because I don't go out, I don't need it.
Uh, you mean three masks or free masks? Like,
Three, I have three masks, only three.
but
No.
there's only
In China, there is nothing for free.
hmm?
If you're in China, there is nothing for free.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
Of
maybe.
course, you have to buy.
sounds like the same as in here.
Yeah, because everywhere, like inside or outside China, wherever in the world, people are rushing to bulk buy masks and then just empty all the shelves immediately when like new masks come in. And like after your 14 days of quarantine, I think your mask would be like finished in 3 days. Then what are your plans? How do you get more masks?
I think I will ask the community manager to help me to buy the mask because I don't know how to buy this. If you want to go online to buy it, the delivery will say, "Oh, sorry, we will wait," or something else, because the entrance for the city is blocked. I think that's why the delivery doesn't work. So if I want to buy a new mask, I think I have to ask for help. I don't know. I have seen that my friend, he bought the mask, but he bought the mask through through the community managers, because in pharmacy you cannot buy it. They don't have. It feels like it's like you must fill the form. I need the mask, blah blah blah, and then they will give you special receipt. You have to go to the special pharmacy which has mask, and then you can buy 3 or 4 or 5 pieces. I have seen. He told me I have seen that form. He filled the form. He waited. He was waiting for 5 days before he got back this form, and then he went out for buying mask. Three, no, four masks. They allowed him to buy 4 masks only.
Mm. And what about the prices of the masks? Are they the usual price or are they higher now? Because
It's
people
usual. It's usual price, because if the price is expensive, the government will will have will give them some restrictions to the pharmacy. They can bring them to the jail. Yeah,
uh, wow, really that this sounds pretty good. Conditions
yeah,
sounds
it's really good. But some people, they bought the mask by expensive price, and they said, "Oh my God." Yeah, I
so
had some friends. They told me they bought the mask for 100 yuan for one.
one.
I told them, "Are you?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100 yuan for one mask.
Gosh, for that price, I'd rather just stay indoor for 2 more days to save
Yeah,
some masks.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so other than masks, um, other resources that could help you um, like protect yourself from the virus, for example, like disinfectants and alcohol wipes, are they um, popular in your place? Like, do people use them or they just take to masks?
They use they use the Yeah, they use in entrance. Yeah, if you come into community or to the supermarket, you have to wash your hands with this special wipes or something like this. I don't know the name, alcohol wipes, something like this.
Yeah.
They spray, and you wash your hands. Yes, they use it, but usually people, they don't use it.
What do you mean by usually people don't use it? Like do
I
they
mean,
not buy them and use them on their own, but like when they enter somewhere new, for example, a market, would they be encouraged to use it and they not use it?
I don't know why they really don't use it. I have, but they don't have. I don't know why.
So like the people are not buying them on their own.
Yeah, they're not buying. Of course, if you go to the supermarket, you can buy it freely.
So they are not even sold out yet, those alcohol wipes.
Yeah, 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 you can buy it. Even in pharmacy, yeah, you can buy.
That's surprising because this kind of alcohol wipes are also off the shelf. Like they're sold out everywhere else.
Mm, that Thursday when I came back, I went to the pharmacy and I asked for masks. They said, "Oh, sorry, we don't have. We have. You have to go to your community manager and ask blah blah blah." And said, "Ah, okay. So do you have alcohol wipes?" They said, "Oh yeah, we have." Okay, I bought it.
Hmm. See, and a lot of services nowadays are also taken over by like new officials, especially, I mean, I mean, what? Specialized for this condition, for the virus condition. Is that true?
Y-
Like,
Yeah, 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 sure. especially couriers who is delivering food or some products. Yeah, or taxi drivers. Yeah, they're really they're they're looking with some suspicious eye. They're asking you where were you or something like this. When I took the taxi driver asked me, or he picked me up from the train station and he asked me, where were you? Or have you ever been in Wuhan last 1 month? Blah 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 like this.
Mm-hmm. And do you tell them you have been to Mongolia?
Yeah. I told them. He said, it's okay.
Yeah, of course. Mongolia is like one of the least populated places in China. You're kind of
Yeah,
safe there.
and they have, I forgot, about 20 or 25 diagnosis cases.
Hmm. Let me just check. Um, they have actually 73.
Oh no, 73, because when I left the city, there were about 25. So
Oh.
that's why I think they don't care.
And yesterday, actually, they have one new cases.
Wow, it's surprising.
I mean, one new case. Yeah, and the people moving around from cities to city that happened around the time of the Chinese New Year, right?
Yes. So that's why it's so hard to control now new diagnosed cases.
Yeah, okay. So around that time, do you see people around you traveling back to like their hometown? Like how much people around you travel to their hometown?
They don't want to risk, so they're staying still at home at their mothers and fathers' home. They still didn't come back. So all of my workmates, they didn't come back. I asked why. They said, "Oh, it's so risky. We are just waiting for the government speech." Like,
So until today, until now, they are still not yet back to Xi'an.
yeah. They're still in their mother's, father's house.
So are they on the quarantine in their place, or do they just stay there willingly?
They're staying there willingly. They're not in quarantine.
And what is the reason that they're not going back to Xi'an? Because Xi'an is safe right now in comparison to the other provinces, is kind of in a better condition.
I think they're afraid of getting the virus. This is first reason, and the second reason is everyone who is coming back home must be quarantined 14 days at home. I think they don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, they are also afraid of losing their freedom when they travel back to Xi'an. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah,
Hmm. So do you know anyone who sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so do you know anyone who actually went to the province of Hubei?
No, I don't know.
No.
Thank God, I don't know.
And as the province just um right next to them, like given this distance,
Yeah.
are you
Oh
afraid
yeah. Oh
people
yeah.
travel?
There is Chinese app. They created special app. You can see
Uh-huh.
on the map online who is nearby
Mm.
got the virus. So the nearest person for me is in 30 kilometers. He's in
Oh.
the center of city. I'm living in south of city, so 30 kilometers. So I can see. Oh, okay. There is no one who is infected. It's okay.
Yeah. And that thing you're talking about is an application, like
Yeah,
mobile
application.
application.
Yeah, mobile special, especially for this outbreak, the government created
So
this application.
it's created by the government. And do they update it every day?
Yeah, they are updating this every day.
And like, do you only see that for your own province, or do you see it for everywhere? Because you know, if you're traveling outside of your city, or like traveling back to your city, it's better to know um also the information of other provinces.
Yeah, sure. You can see this online. Yeah, you can see all provinces of China who is infected. They have their red marker on the map, and you can see all near the infected.
And what else do you see in that application?
What? Excuse me?
Like, what other information do you get from that application? Because I think they have more than that.
No, they hide names. If you mean this, they hide names. You can just see that here is the person. Here's the person near to you. For example, if you're near the person, only red dots, nothing more. No names, no address, nothing more. Just red dots on the map.
Does it show whether they are inside a hospital, or they are in home quarantine, or in some other facilities?
Everywhere, everywhere. Of course, everywhere. They can be
Okay,
at home. They can be at hospital. Everywhere.
so they also have their location there.
Yeah, they have location,
Uh-huh.
but no names. Nothing. No. No personal information.
Okay. So people in your place, are they afraid of this disease? Because you have quite some information from the government, and from people in your WeChat group. So are they panicking, or they kind of feel safe about the situation?
They're not panicking, but they are really afraid of because they said, "Oh, I will not go to the supermarket today, and I recommend you to not go out too because of this epidemic." I have seen this in my, friends feed. They told, "Oh, I don't want to go out. Please do not go out." They tell each other, "Please do not go out. Please don't go out." But it was first days of outbreak. Now I think they are coming down. I think they're eager to work. So I think they bored.
They are eager to work, you're saying?
Yeah,
Um, why is that?
because they are bored to be at home. I don't know.
But don't they find risky a little bit to have a lot of people gathering in one workplace?
I don't know. They don't want to stay at home so much time because they are Chinese. Come on, they want to make money.
Yeah, what about you? Would you personally want to, if you
Huh?
could?
What
If you
what
could,
what?
okay, if you could, would you want to go to work right now?
If I could,
Yeah.
it's a hard question because I'm in quarantine. I cannot go out. After the quarantine, yeah, I can. Yeah,
But
if I could, I would go, but now I can't.
okay, so if you could, you feel safe about going outside.
Yeah, sure. I have this map. I can see who is infected. Come on, it's easy.
Yeah, but those people are only like diagonal cases, and there could be also infected people who are just walking around without knowing that themselves are carrying the virus. Like, that is how the virus got an outbreak so quickly, and in exponential numbers.
I got it, but
Yeah.
I don't care. If we see the deaths, if we see deaths who died from the virus, usually they are old people who can't, their body can't, resist the virus. They have bad immune system.
Yeah.
So even if I got the virus, okay, I will go to the hospital. Okay, I will be there and for 3 days or for 7 days, and then I'll go out. It's okay.
So you
I'm
would
not. I'm not scared of this virus really.
ah what about the other people? Like, are they scared of catching the virus?
Yeah, they are really scared because if you see the person who is from Wuhan or from Hubei province, they will be panicking. Yeah, it will be panic, I think. Because I have seen many videos like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Wuhan. Oh my God, and they're just for running away. Yeah, I have seen these videos.
Oh, I have also heard that I think that is in the national scale, but if you see someone who's from Wuhan and then they given the condition that they have not yet report themselves to the officials, you can report them and you can get some cash for yourself. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah, 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 yeah. It's true. It's true.
It is true. Oh,
Yes, it's totally true. Yes.
so do you see anyone doing that?
I didn't see. But now you can get the cash if you report the person who has the high temperature and this person didn't go to the hospital. You can report to the government. They will take him away and you will get the cash too.
Well, really, now the conditions is going really easy. Yeah, just choose someone who has a fever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get easy money. And even if you have the high temperature and if you will come to the hospital by yourself, they will pay you some money too.
Oh, and do you know what is the amount of money that they're paying?
Uh, Let me check. If you report, you can get some, not so much money, maybe 100 yuan. But if you go by yourself to the hospital, you can get up to 1,000 yuan.
So if you're going to report someone, you only get 100.
Yeah, but if you go by yourself, if you have the fever, you can. If you have the fever, you can get up to 1,000. I don't know how do they count it.
I don't know. Maybe it's depends on the province that you're in. Sometimes they have a little bit different their policy.
This policy works only in Henan province.
Ah, so it's not happening in Xi'an right now.
No, 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 not happening in Xi'an. It's only in that province, and of course in in Hubei. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
only two provinces have this policy.
Oh, so what are the officials doing in Shanxi? Like, what kind of policies do you have there that you know about?
Uh, for example, if you came back from another city, you have to scan QR code, as I told you. But if if you had the passenger in your train who was infected or suspected, you cannot come back to your home. You have to go to this hotel and sleep there for 14 days, and then you can come back home.
So is that voluntary or officials would take you there?
I think officials, yes. There are so many people, they wear some, red badge or some red tie, and I don't understand who is it. Is it official? Is he official or is he or she volunteers? I don't understand.
Interesting. And other than that, is there any other policies that's happening in Xi'an or just the province of Shanxi?
This is policy of Shanxi province.
And I mean, do you have any other things that they're doing right now?
Now let me think. No, I think nothing. Yeah, you have to be in quarantine. They don't care where did you come back.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in quarantine for 14 days, and doesn't matter who you are. But firstly, they check your flight number and check your train number, and if there is one person who is suspected or infected, you cannot go home. You cannot go back home. You have to go to the special hotel and sit there for 14 days. be in quarantine for 14 days, and then you can come back home. And the funniest thing that you have to pay for this hotel by yourself.
What?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Do they give you a discount or something? Do they supply you food?
No
No,
discount.
no
And
discount.
it's same for hospital. If you go for checking your body to the
Mhm.
hospital, you have to pay, of course.
So they are maintaining their economy pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about if you are not returning from somewhere, you're just a resident there and you didn't go out of the province, say in Chinese New Year, and then like you probably just stayed there for the entire time. Would anything happen to you, or you can just live your life like how you used to do it?
Uh,
Would you
no,
be
you
enforced?
cannot. You cannot live your life how you used to, because they have restrictions to
Hmm.
coming out. If you want to go out, I told you have to you have to pick the ticket, and this ticket they will give you only one time per 3 days, so you cannot live your life as
So
usual.
that is for everyone, not just for the people in quarantine.
Yeah, it's for everyone. If you're in quarantine, you cannot go out your door. If you go out of your door and the neighbor will see that you're going out, they will report, and they will get money, I think.
I see. I thought that is only for the policy after people are quarantined, just like a quarantine
No,
area.
it's for everyone. It's for everyone.
Oh, but then there are also people who are working, like for the delivery in Christmas.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think their companies have. I think their companies, I know, wrote letters to the government to allow this person to come back work because they need him, blah blah blah, like this. I think, and they allowed to go out to this person.
So do you think the surface, say in your province, is enough to sustain the people's lives, like for the supplies and?
You know, there are so few supermarkets nearby. So if you wanna if you wanna go get food, it's so hard.
Mhm.
It's not hard if you're not in quarantine. You can go out and you can walk inside your community. You can buy food from the supermarkets which located inside the community. But if you're in quarantine, you have to buy only online, and it's really hard.
I see. So for like the online grocery shopping,
Yeah.
like how do you find it hard? Is it because like the delivery time is long, or are there things that you can only buy when you are in the shop?
Now they have not so big amount of food, like not so many kinds of food. If I went to the supermarket, as I remember, one one month ago, I could see so many kinds of food. But now, if you go to that supermarket now, you could see maybe only one type of this food, one type of this food, one type of this food. It's because of factories, food factories. They didn't start to work, so only 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 fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, like this. And meat, of course.
Oh, they still have meat.
Yeah, sure, we have meat. You can buy meat, but meat is expensive now. It's more expensive than before.
How much more expensive?
Maybe, let me think.
I,
You know,
I, it may be a percentage or something.
percentage. Okay, percentage maybe 30%.
Wow,
30%.
wow,
What?
30% or 13%.
30, 30, 30.
Xám
Yeah, it should be like
xám
three
sạch
zero
mỏ
percent. Yeah.
hóa chứ.
It's not makes sense because she don't have a lot of supply of that, and then I really didn't thought they would still be selling meat because there are a lot of procedures and you know first the butcher and then you have to like repackage it a little bit. The transportation, it might not be so nice to get a raw piece of meat everywhere under this condition where the outbreak started in the market. I thought they kind of just ban meat or something. So what
Yeah, I
kind of
think so.
what kind of meat are they selling right now?
All kinds of meat, really all kinds of meat, but it's more expensive than before. All kinds of meat, like lamb, beef, chicken, all kinds of meat.
I'm not sure what she following around, but around the prices and the property in China of the market, because some news we heard about is the people want to crazy to buy out the food to something, but and the otherwise and the other side we would think if the people was all staying in the home, how about the people to the crazy to buy it? They was there buy with the online shop, online order, and how about people work in Wuhan or your living places right now?
I cannot answer what about people in Wuhan.
Because it's complicated to think if we because we in my places I would take too much video right this few day from China. They would we would see too much after cutting videos about the police to catching the people that wearing the mask, maybe the people just we don't know the front or the fully story, but we see too much police to catch the people on the street or at the home places. We don't know what happened on this. Can you share about what is this right? Would this happen on your town or on your places?
Of course, if you are going out without wearing a mask, they will catch you and firstly they will say, just, hey, where's your mask? If you say, I don't wear, they will say, why? And of course, you will have some problem.
But the serious is maybe just the people was something flu a little bit sounds, and most of the people would talk, or you are sick or you are flu, you need to stay or something. It would be something how to say that to target the people in sick, or would call the police to arrest the people, something like this.
For example, if your neighbor heard that you're coughing, they can report to the government. Hey, I heard my neighbor, yeah, he's had a cough.
That means I hate the neighborhood. Then they can call the police.
Yeah, they can.
I hate the neighborhood. Then I call the police.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, sure. Because they are motivated. Because they think, oh, maybe that person has that virus. Maybe I can get that virus. I don't know how. If you're not contact the infected person, you cannot get the virus. But I don't know. They're afraid of. They're still afraid of.
So maybe that means the arrested people would not really, because we see most the video, and in the video the arresting people would fight back to the police, or the whole family would back something bully to the police. We're not sure who is the right so we weren't sure there's also just after the calling the police, maybe all maybe they are thief or they are sick already, and the police will come to their home to catch them to the hospital, or the extending area to holding on them. So they would have a problem on this.
Sure, if they will take you to the hospital if you have fever, if you have cough, yes, they will take you to the hospital firstly.
That's
But
too much terrible.
this, but it's yeah, it's really terrible and it's too strict. I think it works only in Hubei province. I think, but yeah, they can come to your home and say, oh, hello, we have some information, we have some report that you're a suspected person. Please come with us to the hospital. And the people who is running away from the police, they are just maybe firstly they are afraid of secondary, maybe they don't want to pay for the hospital because I told you there is no free in China if you are in the hospital. So I can say you the price. For example, if you were in train with infected or suspected person, you must go to the special hotel to
Yeah,
sit there for 14 days. So the price is 200 renminbi, 200 yuan for the one day. So 14 days, if we count, it's like
but most
2,000 and
but most
800.
the
It's
most
really big amount.
Well, maybe I need to turn about the voice because I heard your multi voice on the speaker, and I mean, there's something message from the China that means the people going to the extending hospital or special area the whole that they would no waste the bag because in maybe these few days coming out story is that means the people get inside they're waiting for die and within they're not sick already they get in the hospital inside they would take the virus at the hospital so the people was very afraid to getting inside on that.
That's true. Yes, this is one of the reasons. Yeah, this is one of the reasons because according to the statistics, the people who is infected these days, they got the infection mostly they got infection in hospital when they came there for checking out their body.
Wow, but it's very make the outside people unbelievable in China. What are if that means I didn't like this neighborhood, then I take some video or photo. He don't wear a mask. He has flu, and he can call the police to arrest him. Unbelievable, and the prices, and we can think the I saw something video from China inside to leakings out with the internet, and they say nobody on the street, nobody works, but we would think how did they order something? Was the same something worker in the city to shipping the property to the family home or the other places because you must have food. Your food must have a time to take to your home, but the people not going outside. This is the business only in China right now.
Yeah, I think it's really business in China right now. But I think you mean that there are some people who is working every day. There must be people who works every day, right?
Whoa.
So I think people who wants money more, they go out for delivering food. Yeah, I think so. Because everyone is sitting at home for free. No. Maybe for 1 month. So I think the money is coming to an end, and they don't have a choice. They are going out for work.
That means would they control the property shipping by the city? Because you can think about the people just buying something food or order something, but they are only the shipping people in the city. They can control the prices, or maybe something. Would they take go to your home and suddenly to mark up the price, or you need to give me something, maybe 300, 500 tips, then I can give you the property. If not, and we go with something like this. We have this terrible story in China.
Oh, I hear that first time. I don't think so. If the courier came to your door, came to your family and asked you for more money, you can say, "Hey, I already paid." No, I think they can't. No, they can't ask for more money
That's same.
because you can report the police and the police will check it up, and
Oh.
it's really hard. But courier now they have really high salary because only they are working. For example, for delivering your food, for example, the usual price was 5 yuan, for example, but now it's 15 yuan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this money belongs to the courier, to the delivering people.
Mm.
You pay extra for the delivering. So, as I told you before, I paid 5 yuan. Now I paid 15 yuan. But for food, you pay to the supermarket. This price is divided.
That's been better a little bit because this is finally good news that we think. And one question with maybe since the past, but we know that the people going to the hospital, they with their whole family to go into the hospital or extension places, but their pets were still staying in home. There was it a very most huge problem in China because I remember that the video called it 丁香医生. They have a service to helping the sick people, the stay at home pets, the dogs, the cats, because the people going outside, going out and they can't go back to their home, their pet with no food, no water, something. What's anything you can share or know about that in China?
Oh, I have seen that videos too. I have seen the video where in Wuhan, some people they came to the closed home because there is nobody at home, but there are only pets, and pets have died because of starving, and they just throwing them to
And the
the
neighborhood help them to take care of the animals.
I think if people ask their neighbors, they can do that. Of course.
But sure,
Of course, they will pay for neighbors for the caring of
but
pets.
that's sure that you have the how to say that the 支付宝就是 electrical
Alipay.
you can ship the money easily. That's not a problem. But the same first, you need to trust the neighborhoods don't stolen your things.
Yes, you're right. And what about money? Now all cash money. Now the Bank of China, they are collecting this money to the banks, and they're spraying some special sprays, and they can spray, or they can just destroy this cash money.
So
Yeah, I have seen that news today. But in China, you don't need cash, really. You have Alipay, you
nowadays
have online.
nowadays the problem. If not, in what we say in 10 years or 20 years ago, maybe the next problem was called 摘台. This means the people going to the bank to take all the money out. That is the other economy problems.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
So, Smiler, you have any question? If you're back.
Smiler?
No, your circle is brightening, but we can't hear. Er,
She
maybe.
had left.
Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Okay. So just back to about like reporting people, and then they would like go to their houses and put them in quarantine or bring them to hospitals about that issue.
No, they will bring them to hospital because they have to check their body for their new virus.
So like the first thing they would do is bring them to hospitals.
Yeah, and if they are not infected, they will bring them back home, and I think they will put in quarantine for 14 days because they were going out.
Wait, you mean if they are diagnosed, then they would be bring back home? They will be
No,
brought
no,
back
no, no,
home?
no, 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 no. If the if the diagnosis will be if they will have this new virus, coronavirus, they will put them into the hospital, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
if they don't have, they will bring them back home. But I think they will put them in quarantine for 14 days because they were going out, they were in hospital.
Oh,
They
yeah,
could get
good
new
point.
virus there.
Yeah, that is so true. So I just wonder, what do you hear about the hospitals in your area?
I've never been in Chinese hospital and I don't want to go. So
Yeah,
I
it's
have
safe
no
though.
information about this. Yeah, because I'm foreigner here, and for Chinese people, they have some discount if they went to the hospital after some time. I don't know, maybe half of a year, they can get from the government money back. They can get money back, but I can't. I pay full price, and it's totally expensive, so I don't want to go to the hospital. I've never been there.
Okay, it's probable that you haven't been there and it's better that way because it's safer. But like those media that you are accessible about, would they tell you about the conditions in hospitals? Like which hospitals are more crowded and you should avoid those if you want to go there, and which ones are better? Do you get those information?
No, I don't have this information. I know that if you're suspected and if you have to check up your health, they will bring you to the nearest hospital, usually nearest hospital in your district. So you cannot choose, I think.
Ah, so it's not to your choice. I
Yeah, of
see.
course.
And I also wonder, like, um, because earlier in this outbreak, Chinese government actually denied I mean, they didn't let foreign organizations help, not volunteers, not accepting their resources,
Yeah.
not taking their masks, not taking their medicines. But now on, they're trying to take those things. And so, however, we also see like those resources not put in the right place. They are just put in some warehouse and not actually giving the hospitals those resources. Have you heard about those things?
You mean stealing?
Not like stealing, but kind of like keeping it away and
Yeah.
using it for their
For their
own.
own. Really, I don't know about it, but I have heard about it, but I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Who knows? Who can
So
check it?
yeah, of course, no one can check, kind of. But you have all also heard about those things and inside
Yeah,
China.
sure. Not inside of China, no. I heard this from newspapers from outside, not inside.
Okay. So other than this, do you have any other things that we would see in the media outside of China but are not uh are not reported inside China?
The information about N95 mask, that this is special mask, that's really, really good mask. I
Mhm.
have seen this news maybe 10 days ago, but
Mhm.
in China, inside the media, I didn't see. And only now I can see that they're talking about N95 masks, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if if they got some information outside, it's time to, I don't know, to get it.
Mhm.
Like all news abroad are coming to channel, late.
Oh, so we actually have more information than you guys do in China in some sense. Is that right?
Yeah, right. But what about statistics, numbers? Government is always updating these numbers, statistics, these.
Yeah, true. They are quicker in the numbers because they get the first-hand information. And what about, do you have other things that you get first from the outside media than the media in China?
N95 mask. What about next?
Hmm?
About maybe about infected people abroad. Yeah, I
Uh,
check it. I
what
check
people
it.
abroad?
I mean, in Japan, in France,
Oh,
yeah, they. But the government, the government in China, I think they don't care about it. They didn't write about people who sick abroad.
mm-hmm.
So inside the media, inside the Chinese media, you cannot find information about suspected, infected, died people abroad. Only what's inside of China.
I see. So, what about the other Chinese people? Do they also look at news abroad, or they only look at the ones that are within China?
They watch TV,
Mhm.
so they're looking only, yeah, they're looking only to the news inside the China. I think they don't have access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like the great internet wall of China, right?
Yeah, every day this is the problem of, yeah, every foreigner in China. This great wall.
Yeah, the Great Wall. So,
Many information resources have blocked. So I think ordinary Chinese people they cannot get access.
so you're saying like ordinary Chinese people would not try to like get over the wall or see something outside. They are searching
Yeah,
information
yeah. They
inside.
even don't know. They even don't know what does it mean VPN. I asked them. They don't know.
Oh, okay. So they don't even know there's something outside.
Yeah,
Oh, that's that's eye-opening kind of. I thought a lot of people know they have a great wall, internet wall, but they just don't want to see the outside or they just don't bother. But it turns out a lot of them don't even know about that. So
yeah.
even in a big city,
A lot of them really don't know about that.
so even in a big city like Xi'an, and people don't know about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my friends, I mean, my Chinese friends.
Okay. So what about the numbers that were set by the Chinese officials? Because that is kind of all the information you can get from televisions and maybe newspapers or online resources inside China. So do the people in China believe in those numbers?
Yeah, I think so. They don't have opportunity.
But they like at the same time they also see a lot of videos and pictures from say Wuhan, and then those people are dying, and a lot of um like footages in hospitals um showing that they are all packed with very sick people, but the numbers doesn't always reflect that.
I think so, and I think the Chinese people they believe to their media. I believe also I believe to their media because the news. inside the China, I mean about numbers, about statistics. It's same with foreign media.
Uh, what do you mean by the same as the foreign? Because I think the foreign media is kind of also reports the numbers given by the Chinese officials. So
Well, the White House,
Yeah,
the White House actually just said that they don't believe China's numbers, saying that um, they believe that the numbers are skewed and that China's not correctly reporting how many people are infected. The other thing that we've been seeing is reports from out of China saying that some of the people who are infected are being cremated before being diagnosed, or um, because they don't have the manpower to deal with it, right? And the other thing is that we've been seeing reports that some people weren't labeled as having the coronavirus. Instead, they're labeled as having pneumonia or another type of illness. So, but what are your thoughts on that?
or were those things even mentioned in Chinese media? Like possibility of people not being diagnosed but actually catching the virus and then dead and not labeled as dead from this virus?
I didn't get the meaning, but I think they try now. They try to control, everyone, like not everyone, every move. So if they suspect you in new virus, they will come to you.
Okay, let me ask something, Dan. Like, from your perception, do you feel that the Chinese government is doing a good job containing this virus?
According to my experience, first 4 days they did a really good job. They came to my door, so I don't know, every 2 hours to check out my body, to check out my health. So I think they do good job, really. Yeah, it's if your province is close to the Hubei, yeah, maybe policy is really strict, but I think they need this strict policy. There are so many people in China and they are traveling, and it's really hard to control so many people.
Yeah, no, of course. There's no place on the planet where there are so many people in one country. So it is a unique situation. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just like like your feelings about it. Like, I mean, it matters more that we get the actual truth from someone who is actually in there, right? Like, as AK said, like the White House makes its own statements, but that they obviously benefit from negativity over about China. So like the Chinese government will say similar stuff about the White House. So
In the
yeah.
same regard, we've seen people out of China that are criticizing the Chinese government. Like there was an arrest of a scientist. There was an arrest of a doctor, and then the doctor died. I think his name was like Li Chang or something like that. So something close to that.
Mhm.
I'm butchering Chinese names. I know. I'm sorry, but in the same regard, there has been a lot of people who've spoken out and said that the Chinese government didn't control this right. They downplayed it, and then they decided they were going to attempt to try to control it. There was a report saying that the first case was in December, last year. So, what are your thoughts on the arrests that are happening to people who are going out to try to film, and also some of the people that are being outspoken against the Chinese government? And I know you have to be
Can
careful because it's China and the CCP, but besides that, what are your thoughts on that?
can I just add to it a little bit? Uh,
Go for it.
okay, so are the people that he talked about, including two major names that you might have heard about, Chen Qiushi and Fang Bin. Have you heard about them? Like the footage that they released, because they are one of those people who went to film at the hospitals. Did you ever saw videos filmed by them?
No, I didn't.
Not either of them.
I know only about one person who was the first one. He he was a doctor, and he said that this is new virus. Everyone, please, you must be you must pay attention. And then Chinese police, they caught him and they punished him. But after that, when the virus outbreak begins, the the police got the punishment, and and he got the freedom. But as I know, he died 5 days ago, or maybe 10 days ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
because
that is the doctor,
I know.
the Dr. Lee son.
Go ahead, Smire. Sorry.
No, I'm done with that.
Yeah, I know. I want to say that because at first the Chinese government was saying you could only catch the virus if you had been in contact with certain animals, and this doctor was saying no, it's actually goes from person to person, and so this doctor was trying to release this information to the public, and he was like punished for it. And later on, he had this virus himself, and ended up in a hospital, and he died from it. That's I think the doctor we were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in total there were like 8 of them, but only one of them died from the virus for now.
In Chinese media, he is the hero. Everyone just posting his photo. Oh, this is our hero. He is fighter for the truth, or something like that.
Well, he is kind of a hero, of course. I mean, he brought out the truth, and like this is like I don't know if it's safe for you to say all of these things, and I don't know whatever the Chinese government, if they can listen or whatever to you. That is we are dealing with the same problems here. Uh, what governments do is they try to stop so-called dissenters from bringing out information, especially like a doctor is like a risk to them. A lot of people will be listening to him, so we're dealing with with the same trouble. So this is not like just against like China or whatever. Like this happens in all our countries. We are all dealing with this. We're like whistleblowers, our leakers are not usually treated well by governments. So uh, that
Yeah, I
is
don't think any government treats them well.
yeah, no, it is not really shocking to us. I mean, we were expecting this to happen. So yeah.
Um, what can you tell us about the quarantine procedures that are going on over there? Like we've been seeing videos um, of China spraying disinfectant all over different cities, and in some cases it's disinfectant gas. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, disinfectant gas. I told you it's in Hubei, especially in Hubei and provinces nearby. But in Shanxi, exactly in my city, exactly I did. Maybe they do that because I'm in quarantine. I can't go out. I can't see. But out of my window, no, I can't see disinfection. And procedure for quarantine is different. If you are from Wuhan or from Hubei province, they will get you into the hospital 100%, 100%. But if you came back from another province or from another country, they will put you in quarantine at home. So the procedure is different.
Okay, very interesting. And as far as the quarantine procedures go, like we've been seeing videos coming out of China where the CCP has been going to people's doors and locking them inside. We've been seeing videos of some, in some cases, of where people were being welded inside, boarded up inside their homes. What is going on for you as far as quarantine goes?
They just put some letters notification that they here is a person in quarantine in this apartment, so do not come to him and do not allow him to go out. But I have seen that video about the builder, about this knocking the door, and the police said, okay, this is really stupid to lock the door of these people, so they checked out, and as I understand, they punished people, I mean local police who did that. But usually neighbors if they realize that the person came from Wuhan or from Hubei province, they lock the door by themselves. But this is against the rule.
Interesting. Okay.
So if you are locked in your apartment, you can call the police and say, "What the hell?" But I have seen this video too.
Also, in regards to internet censorship and what's been going on, we just recently heard Zai say that they're going to start cracking down more on the internet and people sharing videos. How has things been thus far in regards to that, using like WeChat or
I've heard that many people who were telling some censorship words, they were banned. They had a ban on WeChat and also some groups about the virus. So people they don't allow the thing. They don't allow to speak about that. But what's happening right here, right now with the people? I think they can talk about it. I mean, for example, the neighbor came from another province, and they can speak with each other or in friends feedback. They can talk about it, but if they talk about in common, for example, if they talk about some mistakes, maybe government's mistakes or something like this, you can get the bad.
Interesting. Okay.
I think now censorship about this problem is more strict.
Right.
Because there are many people they disinformated others, and they try to get some benefit, like maybe they can lie to others that here is 5 people, for example, from Wuhan, and now they say, fortunately we have the masks, but we can sell to you masks for this price, blah blah, like this.
Right. And my other question for you is in regards to, we've been seeing reports come out both by military news in China, the XILU news agency, and now we're seeing reports come out from South Beijing scientists saying that this virus may have came from the Wuhan laboratory. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've seen this news too. I don't think so, because Wuhan laboratory, they are the first who created 15 minutes checking of new virus. They were the first. So if they created, why they must to create the checking up procedure? I don't know. I don't believe in it. It sounds stupid, I think.
Well, the South Beijing scientists said that there was an incident where bats had peed and bat blood had got on a scientist in the lab, and he had to quarantine himself for 2 weeks. And these bats were infected with SARS. It's not that far from the possible truth. It could be that that's where it came from.
Oh, sure, I agree. It could be, but I don't believe in it.
No, no, this you need definite proof for it, of course. I was wondering. I know they quarantined 14 provinces at first. I wonder, like, how many areas are now quarantined? Does anyone know that on air?
Excuse me, one more time, please.
I know they had like 14 areas in China quarantined. I think 14 provinces of China. I was wondering if anyone on air knows how many are quarantined now. Is it getting worse, or are they
I've heard.
contained?
I got it. I think no information, but warranted person, if if they if they see that you are infected, okay, you will be in the list of infected people, but I don't think that they have the list of quarantined person or person. I didn't see.
I've heard that there's been 400 million, over 400 million people that have been quarantined in China. Is there any truth to that, or is that just kind of Western propaganda?
I think it can be true. It can be true
Cause
because many people came back home because they maybe had to work, maybe they had to come back because of some consequences. So I think it can be true.
And how many? You just spoke about how many people are currently out of work, and how many people are working right now? If you can give us like a kind of a guesstimate.
I can't say to you numbers how many people is working, but I think the cleaners, supermarket staff, couriers, some community managers, of course, police.
Okay, interesting. All right.
But other places all closed. Most people are at home now.
So basically, it's just services that are needed to kind of get by. And how is that affecting China's economy?
So you can think about it like everyone is just sitting at home, and of course they don't work, they don't get the salary, and everyone now is losing money. So everyone now wants to go to the work because they're losing money. So I think economy, yeah, it's decreasing.
yeah, actually about the quarantine thing, they have different kinds of like different levels of quarantine. So for example, in Wuhan and I think two other provinces, they have really strict quarantine, and for the others it is more like in each smaller region they have quarantine, but in some other they doesn't. And also uh for some they have to take you to somewhere, some kind of center for isolation and quarantine, but for the others you can only stay home. And so they have different regulations. It depends on what kind of quarantine that you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. So if we're talking about like oh wait. Yeah, if we're talking about like more straighter quarantine, I think there are around 80 cities that are under this kind of like straight quarantine, like Tianjin and then Chengdu and then Guangzhou. They are also doing like the straighter ones. And I think
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then in Xi'an, your city, it should be the looser ones, right?
mm, we have 12 million people, around 12
Mm.
million, so it's not big city according to the Chinese cities. It's not a big city, so I think they, the policy here for quarantine is not so strict, but it's stricter than before, of course.
Yeah. Okay. But in your place, are there anyone that has to be taken to an isolation center? Not like a hospital, but just an isolation
Yeah,
camp.
it is like special hotel. Yeah, if you were traveling, for example, in train with the person who is suspected in new virus or infected, you cannot go back to home. You have to go to that special hotel, like isolation center, and you have to stay there for 14 days, and then you can come back to your home.
I wonder what are the conditions that they have to stay there and not at home because you are also under quarantine, but you are staying at home and not in those hotels. So, what is the difference between them?
Because they're checking the flight number or train number, and if there is one suspected, as I told you, or infected person, they will not allow you to come back home. So uh, you mean conditions? Conditions, I think it's similar, but I think it's better to be in isolation center because they will bring to you food and
Oh,
they have special staff who is checking you, who is bringing you food. But here at home, you have to do all these things by yourself. Even measure the temperature. I just measure by myself. They don't come to measure it for me. I just report every day. Okay, today I report 2 times. In the morning I have this temperature, and in the afternoon I have this temperature.
oh, I see. So, like, if you are in those quarantine centers or specialized hotels, then you get more help from like the officials than staying at home. So,
Yeah, sure, but of course you pay for this. So, of course.
yeah, right. And so for the people in China, do you think they need help from the outside?
I think so because their factories are still closed, and many factories, for example, it was the toy factory, but they changed the type of factory, and now they're making the masks. So masks are really not enough. As I told you, if I go to the pharmacy to ask for the mask, they will say, we don't have, sorry, we don't have, sorry, it's a problem. Or they will say, please connect to your community manager, or we will have mask only next week. Come back to next week or something like this. So it's really not enough masks. But for me, I don't care because I'm isolated. I don't go out. But for the people who is not isolated, who has to go outside to the supermarket, I don't know, to their job, they has they have to wear the mask, and they don't have so much.
Okay.
I
So
just
like yeah, please.
I was just thinking how lucky we actually are that it is 2020, right? You're talking about like ordering the food online, and you have like an app where you can see where all the other ill people are. Like, imagine if this was not 2020, but like 20 years ago, it would be entirely different. That's what I was just thinking about.
Yeah, even for money, money can be, the thing that help the virus to infect more people. So now we don't use money. So I think it helps us to decrease the infected people, decrease the diagnosis.
I actually read that the Chinese government was destroying some money from the Wuhan area because it was infecting other people too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're saying like the virus could stay on the surface of the money, so that's why they're like burning it.
Yeah. I've seen that news. Yeah, it's true. I think it's true. But I don't know how to believe because inside media, in Chinese media, I didn't see news about money.
It makes
I
sense.
told you I told you foreign news comes to China really late. Maybe 2 days later, maybe 3 days later, I will see the news inside the Chinese media about money.
I see. So like um for the people, you think they need more resources from the outside, right?
I think so because their factories they can't use so much masks, so much stuff for firstly for the people who's working now, who's working every day, who works every day, who goes out every day. So I think I think Chinese government, yeah, it needs some help.
I see. Like for the factories, what kind of factories are open right now, or they are just nothing's open?
Medical, yeah, medical and many factories have been changed their type. Like maybe they were working, maybe they were producing maybe some food or maybe toys, but now they are producing masks.
Also, the factories are actually turning from other industry into
Yeah,
producing medical things.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. So like, masks could be produced in, say a factory of toys right now,
yeah.
and so they actually have a lot of factories worker going to work even right now, or had it started earlier, or had it just started from this week and so on.
They started earlier, but day by day, many factories are opening up, so many people are going back work every day. So many people day by day go back work. So day by day, China needs more masks.
Okay, so what about other than resources? Do you feel like you need like foreign volunteers to help, like medics and doctors? Do you feel like do you guys need more of those people to help in your country?
I think so because China now they said that we are open for the scientists. We need to find find a way how to how to be with this virus, how to treat this virus. So I think they need more scientists. I think firstly scientists and secondary doctors.
So you think it's more important to have people working together for a treatment for this virus first, and like people inside hospitals treating the patients right now are enough?
I think it's not enough, but doctors from another provinces they are going to the Hubei. In Hubei, it's not enough. So they are going. I can see the news that we are 13, for example, people. We are from this province, blah blah blah. Now we are going to Wuhan to help our people to treat the infected.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, human resources for it's enough. It's enough. Human resources. Doctors are enough, but scientists, I think, are not enough. So they need help to understand what to do with this virus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Um, so like people outside of China, do you think there's anything that we could do to help with the people inside? Do you feel like donations of money and resources are useful? Do you think they could reach you? Because a lot of overseas Chinese, for example, in the U.S., in Canada, in Australia, they are trying to donate money um, into China so you guys can get more masks and more resources. Do you think that works? Like, have you heard about those things?
Yeah, I've heard about that things, and I think it works. And they are usually not donating money, they're usually buying masks in their countries and then sending by the shipment, sending masks to the China directly. So I think it's worthy.
Okay. Have you heard about like this batch of masks are from the overseas, or like did those masks reach the people in your area? Because
No,
sometimes
I didn't see.
I see. Because sometimes I've heard that it's possible that officials in the province would take those masks as their own resources and not actually distributing it back to the people, just like lock those resources up sometimes.
I think it's priority question because they give masks to people who works every day, to governments people maybe, to doctors, and then it's like priority.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think they are selling these masks because I didn't hear about free masks. Everywhere, if you want to get the mask, you must pay money. So even if Chinese overseas, sending masks for free, but when the mask get into the China, it costs some money. Maybe it's business. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Guys, do we have other questions?
Smiler, I think Uri put one in the chat.
In China, they would say they have a testing treatment or pill or medicines to handle over the sick person. But would the China people to trust them? It can work, or it would know any after problems with this medicine? Because this few days we can see China's government say that they have tried something treatment to help the sick people, but would the Chinese people to trust them or to know about this new, or you don't have any message or news about this?
Yeah, they got this news, and I think they trust because they're, Chinese people. They are like sometimes they are like soldiers. Like, oh, okay, we will do all things for our country. We believe to our country. This is their mansion. Maybe I don't know. Mental, yeah, mental.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's like in their mentality to trust their government, to trust everyone. So they really believe that soon they will get the treatment from this new virus.
Use.
What about the incubation rate for this virus? We've seen that it can be up to 24 days, and the quarantine time is it 14 days? Is that correct, or did they change it?
Yeah, no, they didn't change. Yeah, I have heard this news about 24 days or 21 days, I forgot, but they didn't change. It's still 14 days. And they, as I understand, they pay attention on suspected people first 3, 4, or 5 days because the virus can come out usually these days.
Okay, interesting. And they also the virus is said to have um, a surface survive rate of 9 days, according to German scientists. So, do you think that that might affect, in combination with the 24 days incubation rate? Do you think that that might affect how many people actually end up infected by this virus?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, since nobody's jumping in, are the supplies enough for the medical teams coming from everywhere? And there's been reports of people robbing stores and local governments robbing each other. Is that accurate, or have you heard anything about that?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. For example, there is a factory in one province and it produced some medical stuff, and they deliver the stuff to another province, for example, to neighbor province. But the people who is walking on the border can stop and I don't know, they can buy or rob, in the car. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, I heard about this, but I heard about this from foreign media. I didn't hear about this from inside of China.
Interesting. Okay.
But I have but I'm asking with yourself, if you do you trust this? They're using the medicine with the HIV something to mixing in the medicine that you can make the people back to the well. You believe it?
I don't believe it because this is new virus, and if they mix up some medicine against HIV or something like that, how it
Yes,
does it work?
news and updates would say the Chinese using medicine maybe would mixing something uh, the repair the people blood or something.
Oh yeah. I heard about this, and it helped some people, but it's not 100%. So I don't know, and I don't think that it works.
Interesting. Okay.
So interesting.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in and say there's been reports of people who been cured of this, and then they get it again, and they instantly have heart attacks. And this is coming out of China. This was a Chinese doctors who said that those who get cured of this virus and then get reinfected, this virus literally causes people to have heart attacks. What's your thoughts on that? And we've been seeing videos come out of China where people have literally just dropped, falling, like collapsing in the streets, and also at hospitals and stuff like that. Do you think that potentially that these videos might be people having heart attacks?
I didn't know about heart attacks, but I think it can be true. But Chinese people, they're maybe some person wants to check their health quickly, so it can especially fall down to get attention of doctors and be the fastest for checking out their health, especially the old people, because they don't want to wait in queue in hospital. They can do that especially.
That's an interesting view. This is actually the first time I've heard about like this as an strategy, but yeah, it seems like it could be probable that they're doing that in order to get in line into hospitals quicker. Yeah, that is pretty
Yeah,
smart.
sure.
Yeah, that seems smart.
They like to cheat, so you must pay attention on it.
Didn't think of that. That's interesting.
I feel like we've just been like throwing like 1,000 questions at you. Like everyone is so interested in this. Like, uh, I don't know. Do you guys? I think Amber had one thing to say, and that is there something you really want to say to all the listeners from outside of China who don't know much about this yet? Is there some important message we should give?
Don't. I think my message will be like, don't politicize this problem because many countries they like to criticize Chinese government, and this is really good choice to criticize Chinese government. I think they do well. They are not so bad. Yeah, of course, everyone has mistakes, and I I don't trust for sure for them, but in common, I think Chinese government do well. And last 3 days we didn't have diagnosis cases, so I think maybe 1 week later everyone will come back work because everyone I think tired. Everyone is tired to be at home. So my message is don't be so hateful to Chinese government. Yeah, of course you cannot trust them, never. But if you really hate them, it's a little bit strange. I mean, do not make it like politics. They like to talk about it so much, and they like to talk about so many things that cannot be true, really.
No, that's a good point. I think from normal people, everyone is always skeptical about their governments, but other governments, they of course they benefit from talking a bit bad about China right now. This is good for their own economy and all these things. So that, of course, I think that is a great message you were giving. Yeah. For normal people, they're all skeptical of their own governments these days. You know what happens in the world. So yeah.
Yeah, just you can just check some news inside the Chinese media, maybe just checking the facts, and then you can decide is it true or not. Because I thought I have seen many people they trusted to their governments, media, and they trust them, and they don't think by themselves.
Well, what do you know about the Chinese military news website XILU? Because they were kind of contradicting the CCP, and I thought that was really weird. Because China's saying that they had this under control, and then the CCP's report, or not CCP, I'm sorry, the Chinese military news XILU is reporting that the Chinese have now sent in an official into Wuhan and taken over a biological official and taken over Wuhan, and that the Chinese military news media actually blamed the U.S. for a biological attack. And yeah, I thought it was really weird. Like, I thought it was
Yeah,
really
it's
bizarre.
really weird. Of course, you don't have to trust medias like that. It's really weird.
But it's an official Chinese like military news media. It's like the equivalent of the Pentagon over here in the U.S. So I thought it was really bizarre.
It really sounds funny. Of course. there are many, in China is really big, and there are many medias here. So there are big medias. I think you can read big medias, but they also can lie, of course, and say such weird words. It's
Right, but
funny.
this is like it's supposed to be an official Chinese military news media.
Really?
That's what I was told, and that's what it says online. It's the website is XILU, and it's xilu.com or .net or dot something. But anyway, the thing is that they're supposed to be like a Chinese news media that bases all their reporting around the military. So that's why I thought it was very weird that they came out and they contradicted the CCP around that time.
It's so weird. And it sounds so funny. I can't believe it. It's really funny. Of course, maybe they have some benefit from this. Like, okay, we can blame the United States again. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, it comes from this Chinese businessman Jiao Wangui, who is exiled from China, and he said that the Chinese military news network Xilu claimed the virus was engineered by the United States, and that is
Yep.
yeah. And he said
But
that
the web, I looked it up. I thought the website was fake at first, right? I thought, oh, okay, he's just saying this. This website doesn't exist. Then I looked it up and I looked into it. And I was like, this website is actually a Chinese news website that's focused around military. I was like, holy shit! I was like, wow, they're really saying.
well, you know,
Okay, I checked it. I checked your link. Oh my god.
well, AK, a big part of the military is, of course, like in the USA too, propaganda, right? So
True.
yeah, that's like the Americans will also say that you know what we read about like Syria and all these things, right? They do the same things, like we.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's propaganda. It's totally propaganda.
Yeah, it's very hard with these things. Like emergency situations, you have all kind of parties trying to benefit from this, but usually that's why I'm very happy we have like normal people in this broadcast who like yeah are not part of this. Like really need this. Like we need the truth from the ground.
Just always think by yourself, can it be true or not, or check the facts online always, every time. If you have a doubt, you must check facts. So think by yourself. Yeah, Chinese media has propaganda, of course, everyone knows it.
Yeah, like, yeah. I don't
But
know.
what I can see in real life, that they are controlling everything, and I think they do well.
Okay, well that is at least something positive then. Yeah, I was thinking like well, like I said, we fired like 1,000 questions to you. Like
Yeah, sure.
I think maybe we continue like if you want to come back, like then we give like updates like maybe in a week or something or 2 weeks, like if you want.
Well, okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. These others want to close to. Oh, I should mention about tomorrow. Let me see. So we have this Nepal show tomorrow. It has about the Nepal government. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. So there's about Nepal. We have like a coup attempt. Uh, we're expecting the Nepalese guys to come in tomorrow. I'm not sure at what time even. Like we have to discuss this still, but we at least we will go live tomorrow about Nepal, and they want to like pass a bill, and that's to do with a coup attempt. And that is pretty much all I know right now. So um, yeah, we'll be back probably tomorrow
I
then
think
if they show up.
I think tomorrow's time is like around 8 p.m. in our time tomorrow. Yeah. I think Amber mentioned it before.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You girls know all this stuff. Like I will just show up to like stream and then. Yeah.
I'm just the guy who streams.
Yeah, like I still got like a message. Yeah, time to stream now. I have to like jump in.
It's like Mark sleeping. Time to stream. Gets 1,000 calls.
And it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes, really. Okay, well, anyway, like Nepal tomorrow then, and so 8 p.m. as Maya said, that should be it. And to listeners, I wanna ask, please share this everywhere. Like you had just heard like 2 hours of information you probably won't get anywhere else. I mean, most of the stuff I heard, I've never heard anywhere else. So it's worth it. And if you are interested in this and you want other people to know like the truth from the ground in China regarding this whole coronavirus and so-called Wuhan outbreak, then please share it everywhere on different social media, and we'll be back later. And thank you for listening. And thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thank you for your questions. Thank you.